Aaron Rodgers. Now, he came out, of course, or the report came out. We don't know if it was leaked for the Packers or was it leaked from Aaron Rodgers' side. But the report was that he wants out. He doesn't want to go back to Green Bay. And their GM, Brian Gutekunst, comes out. Yeah, I know. I said it once. That's all he's getting. Goody. We'll call him Goody. Yeah. He came out yesterday. Of course, he spoke after the first round. And he said Aaron Rodgers is going nowhere. Here he is.
He's our quarterback. He's our leader. We've been working through this for, a little while now. And, I just think it may take some time, but, he's the guy that kind of makes this thing go. So he gives us the best chance to win, and we're going to work towards that end.
Is there any scenario that you can see trading Aaron Rodgers this offseason?
No, Ryan, I appreciate the question, but no, we're not going to trade Aaron Rodgers.
All right.
And I'll say this, Chris. I'll just say this right off the bat. It was all set up. If they really wanted to move on from him, they could have just done it. They had.
Oh yeah. Well,
it was no, I'm just saying,
you could have explored it for sure.
Well, but draft night with picks and all the other stuff. If you're ever going to do it, and right. That would have been the time to do it. So I wasn't totally surprised because I didn't think that they had the cojones to pull that trigger. I didn't think it was gonna happen last night.
Yeah, I think every situation is different. You and I differ on this. You feel if a guy doesn't want to be there, trade him. I feel like every situation is different. And to me, the biggest thing is if it's a guy that's a great player and I want to keep him, to me, is the fence mendable? And they obviously think it is. And so if you think the fence is mendable with Aaron Rodgers, heck, no way I'm trading him.
See,
at least not yet. Because
I'm a divorce guy. Things don't work out, I'm getting a divorce.
Yeah,
you know
but look, I've been married 25 years.
I know. I'm saying
that's
the
ups and downs. But I'm saying you have, we've had our rough patches here and there.
I know, but I'm saying,
and
but
you work through it.
You work through it. That's what I'm saying. Some people can work through it. And I'm out. I'm calling you Hall. You know what I'm saying? All right, I'm got it. No, I mean,
but this is Holly
everybody's
Berry.
different though. Seriously, Chris. I mean, there are people who can work through. There are people who've been through hell together, married. You know what I mean? Like hell. And
my father's motto was struggle through.
Yeah,
we gonna struggle through. That was his motto.
And people do it, right? You struggle through it.
No,
and then there's other people who just don't want to deal with that. Like don't want to have that as a life. So it depends. And I hear your point, but I do believe that I would never try to convince somebody to stay if they don't want to. That's just me.
Gosh, I can't do that, especially in pro sports. I mean, again. Maybe Russell Wilson would have been traded in Seattle. What would they have? Maybe Kobe Bryant would have been traded. They don't win those last two championships that he won with the Lakers. I mean, to me, my view is just sit down and work this out. And here's my situation with Aaron Rodgers if I were running the Packers. We're not trading you unless, remember I brought this up yesterday, Rob. I mean, look, is he willing to sit out the year? Is he willing to say, I'll go host Jeopardy? I doubt it, but I'm just saying those are the only things that would make me even really look seriously at trading him. And you're not going to know that until it's time to start the season up. So when we start the season, if Aaron Rodgers sits out, if he stays out and he's not coming back and I'll retire and blah, 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 then I would start looking at it. And you still, look, I know people can say, oh, he'd be right into a new offense thrown in at the beginning of the year. He's Aaron Rodgers. He'll be fine. He'll figure it out. And I'm sure plenty of teams would still give a haul for Aaron Rodgers in August. And so I'm waiting. I'm slow playing this. I mean, my goal is just to bring him back. But if he doesn't want to come back, that's, I'm talking about in August, Rob, when we start the season and everything, then I might consider it if I haven't seen him in Green Bay. But other than that, nah, I'm keeping him.
Yeah, I'm just the same on everybody. Like there's got to be, and I'm not saying that you cannot try to talk it out or figure it out. But ultimately, if he tells me,
so you would do that, you would go to him right now.
Yeah, I'm not saying and
they've tried.
I haven't heard from Aaron Rodgers. I know that they've made some trips there to talk to him or whatever. And I'm just saying, if they really wanted to move off of him and they have Jordan Love sitting there, it's not like can't say you don't have anybody.
He's not ready.
But he's been there for a year. But I'm just saying, Chris, if you wanted to, you could. So they need to make that figure that part out. But I'm just saying, I don't care. All these great quarterbacks have been traded, moved on. It's just not inconceivable that you could move on from Aaron Rodgers. The Green Bay Packers aren't going anywhere. They might not win for a long time, but the franchise isn't going anywhere. Because you haven't been up there, right, for a football game?
No.
That's their lives. There's nothing there.
But was it their lives when you and I were kids?
It's
Maybe
Green Bay,
it was.
Wisconsin.
You know, because when you and I were growing up, they were a laughing stock.
But
after the Bart Starr years and Lombardi and all that, they were horrible when we were kids.
But Green Bay, Wisconsin, I'm just saying, that people aren't going anywhere. That's what they have. They have nothing else. They're not around the corner from Milwaukee.
They got the cheese and brats and all that.
You know what I'm saying? Like that.
No,
that's
I get
their
it.
life.
But I do think they could. I hear you. And I get where you're coming from.
It's happened so many places.
But they don't want to move him. I mean,
I know that because they would have moved. They could have moved him, Chris, if they really wanted to.
I didn't even think they wanted to move him yesterday.
No, I knew
here's
that.
the other thing.
I didn't feel that at all for one second. There was going to be a trade yesterday.
I'm gonna say this too, Rob. Aaron Rodgers and I mean all the reports. Jay Glazer, who he's plugged in as anybody. He said this stems from the Jordan Love draft. Okay, so if it was the Jordan Love draft, if I'm Green Bay, I'm like, you were upset about Jordan Love. Okay, you came out and had maybe the best season of your career. You were the MVP, hands down. We'll take that. If that's it, I'm like, okay, cool. Come back and do the same thing, Aaron Rodgers. So that if his feelings are hurt, Aaron Rodgers, Rob, as great as he is, he also has to look in the mirror. He's got the second best offensive line in football, according to Pro Football Focus. He's got arguably the best receiver in the league in Devontae Adams. He's got one of the best, a top 4 rusher last year in Aaron Jones, who just got re-signed. He's got a top 10 defense. They've been 13-3 the last 2 years. Where you going that's better than that? And so, Aaron, I don't even know. He needs to look in the mirror, too. It's certainly not all him because we know how great he is, but he's got to look in the mirror, too. He has not gotten it done at times either. He's the only quarterback ever to lose 4 straight conference championship games. And so he's got to look in the mirror too. I think he should be looking at it like, I got unfinished business here in Green Bay. Let me get a Super Bowl again before I get out of here. Let me one up my great Hall of Fame predecessor, Brett Favre, by getting them 2. So I think Rodgers also needs to look in the mirror too, Rob.
Yeah, I think, Green Bay also, his whole tenure there, they never drafted a skilled position player in the first round. There's a lot of stuff you look at.
No, agreed.
That has gone on there, and you just question it. They've definitely shored up. The defense was better last year, even though they had that terrible play at the end of the first half against Tampa Bay, giving up that touch. That changed the whole game, if you remember, the play.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
But that was on the defensive end, and then the coach taking the ball out of his hands on the 4th down. It's just stuff like that. I could see why he would be upset with Matt LaFleur and that. But anyway, I don't know how this is going to play out, but I think they don't want to trade him, and it's really up to Aaron Rodgers. Like, is he going to give in? I saw the other report by Rappaport where he's saying unless they concede something, he's seriously considering retirement. I mean, even the whole notion, because I always believe, Chris, if you were serious about something, then you can't be talked out of. It's like the guy who tells you, hey, if you don't keep your mouth shut, I'm gonna come over there and punch you in the mouth. The guy who's really serious, you know what he does?
Punches you.
He just comes over, Chris, and punches you in the mouth. Right.
You
know what I'm talking about.
Right. No,
there's no. I'm not threatening you. I'm not telling you what's going to happen if you don't. I would just do it. It's funny too because I saw the report from Stink on the radio. Did you see that about the Rodgers?
Mark Schlereth?
Yeah, Mark Slaver that the deal was done, almost done, or whatever. But then he put on a little caveat saying, Chris, it said like the deal's basically done, but then again it could fall apart. Let's cross our fingers. When you put that piece at the end that it could fall apart, then you don't have it.
You don't know, right?
Am I right?
Exactly.
You don't have it.
Exactly.
You can't. You just can't. You can't put that piece on. If it's done, you got to say it's a done deal.
Right. Well, we'll see. I mean, obviously, I think Denver didn't take a quarterback, and maybe if I was Denver, I'd keep trying, Rob. I would keep trying because Rodgers, reportedly they're on his list. So